Hello and welcome. I am Scrapperlock, and this is City of Heroes Iron Man mode on the Rebirth server. We are with our Guardian level 5 Captain Cyclone, who has 2,800 XP earned, 230 to go to get to level 6. We're on triple XP weekend, and this character is an Iron Man character, which means the first time we faceplant, it's over. Now, we do have one out, and that out is that if we die inside an instanced mission and we have leveled in that mission, so that we have the green up arrow right over here in the upper right hand corner for our experience, we can use that level up juice that we get to res only in an instanced mission, not on the street, and only if we have just leveled up in that mission, not that episode. If I level up in a mission, leave the mission, go into another mission and get face planted, that's it. So once this character dies, that's the end of the run. So I don't know how high a level we're going to get. We probably won't get anywhere near 50. Hopefully we'll get into the 20s. We'll see how far we get with this character. And we are talking to Sandra Castell, and she tells us there are a lot of refugees from Galaxy City that she wants us to help. And what she wants us to do is speak to Ice Drone and calm down the riot that's going on over here by... It's not in City Hall, it's over by this building. You can see a bunch of people are holding up signs. And we're going to calm down Ice Drone. And so we said, don't you have superpowers? Why don't you help us? And he says he's frustrated. There's not enough food. People want food and shelter. And I have you have the power to do something. What kind of hero are you? And he says, I'm the hero that gets to the heart of the problem. And the skulls are the problem. And okay, I will deal with the skulls. Again, we're not going to read too much detail in these missions because we have done these before. And if you want to see me actually kind of run my way through the missions in detail, I suggest you watch the Tiger Strike or the Quintessence Last playthroughs for Rebirth. You can also watch the Liberty Lass and the Silver Phoenix playthroughs for Homecoming, right? And those will all help you see all the details of these missions. I'm not going to read them in great detail because what we're trying to do is just see how far we can get before we faceplant. To defeat 13 more skulls, well, I guess we'll just hang around here and shoot them. It's very convenient having ranged attacks. And also a little defense. It's sort of like a sentinel. And as you can see now that we've got our resolve going up, we're now at 3.2 hold protection. And so this is the idea: the faster you defeat enemies, we're at 4.8, the higher up it goes, right? It does start to sort of bleed off eventually. But we've got a little bit of stun protection, a little bit of hold protection from having defeated these guys. And we've leveled up, guys. We are now 6th level, which will allow us to get our next defense power, which is going to be a toggle. So these guys are now Grey Con, so they're not really worth much XP. We'll just finish them up. Two more to defeat, and we will be done. And that is it. So let's head out. And we will go to Sandra, turn on our mission, and then we are going to go and level up and get our next power. That'll be a toggle. We're probably not going to leave that on unless we're facing guys with a lot of fire or negative energy or something damage, because we already have good smashing, lethal, and energy resistance. Those are like the 3 most common kinds of attacks. So unless we're facing the other kinds of attacks, we won't turn that toggle on until we get some reduced endurance and we get some slots on our stamina and stuff. And that'll be higher level if we survive. So anyway, let's not plan too far ahead because I don't know how long we're going to live. She says, something isn't right with the skulls, Captain Cyclone, but it is starting to make sense. Let me explain. Some of the people I've treated said that they've been hearing another way around all this, right? So let's try to find out what the skulls are up to. But before we do that, we're going to level up with Miss Liberty. We haven't gotten any salvage yet. Okay. Just curious. We have a few enhancements. These are all expired, so I'm going to just toss them. You know, I played on the Homecoming server for a little bit a few weeks ago, and well, about a week and a half ago was the time of recording this, but by the time you're watching it, it'll have been a few weeks ago, and I noticed, like, you can get DOs even at, like, 10th level, maybe even earlier there. This power's always on. Oh my gosh, that's even better. Let's take it. We now have 46% energy resistance, and we don't even have to turn a toggle on. I thought that was a toggle. That is excellent. I can't believe the defenses are this good. That's crazy. That's awesome. Now we do have 2 holes, psionic and toxic, but almost everybody has those holes. So, all right, look through 3 more areas for the skull's instructions. So it looks like there's an instruction here. And there's an instruction over here. And that's going to cause a fight, so let's go ahead and shoot. I desperately want an AoE, but I think we're going to have to wait a few levels to get one. He can run away, I don't care, he's just a great con. And then this package over here. And now we need to speak with Deborah Renfield, who's over here. Even though it's XP, triple XP weekend, the leveling will start slowing down now. What are you doing here? I'm trying to get to the bottom of all this. Okay, what do we do? She's got a small device with a monitor, and she says go inside the nearby building and monitor the meeting. So this is where we go in, and I've got to remember to, we're going to lose our toggles because we basically are just following her with a camera. And I've got to remember when we come out to turn my toggles back on. Right, because this is basically her rather than us, and we're just sort of seeing what she sees when she goes in to meet these guys. And he tells her the story, and now we have to leave. I'm not sure what the point of this is. In the old days, she would have said, "Go beat up some skulls and get to me, come back to me." And when you come back to her, she would have just told you this story instead of you watching it. There's really no point. There's no combat in here. There's nothing to do. There's nothing to really click on. Just a guy. So I don't know. It's a little weird. Typical of these newer missions, they're not so great. Which is another reason why I'm not doing a lot of detailed reading here. Alright, so we know that the skulls were stealing supplies and not Ice Drone. And so now we're going to put an end to the skulls' attacks. And we're going to do this by rescuing some of the people over here. So far, you know, of course, no problem at all, because this is the low-level game. but I know that there is a very high chance at some point, and this is one of the reasons I got flight early, there's a very high chance at some point that we could be passing through an area and just accidentally aggro a purple con, and that's the end of the character if you're low enough level. You know, if you do that at 12th level or something, you're just dead. Right? We will get face planted. So we have flight. And we can do things like, you know, down a whole tray of inspirations to get us out of trouble if we accidentally aggro a purple con and that sort of thing. But if one of them hits me with a hold that I'm not ready for and I don't have a break free or something like that, that's just going to be the end of it. It's actually kind of... I hadn't anticipated this, but it's actually kind of cool. Adds a little bit of that extra, I don't know, interest. I don't want to say necessarily, not really adrenaline isn't the right word because I'm not like nervous or anything. I'm not super attached to this character right now. I mean, I guess I might become attached. Right now it's just like, okay, you know, if he dies now, I would be like, okay, well, it's an interesting experiment. That's the end of it. Not a big deal. But I suspect if he lives to like 28th or 30th level, I'm going to be like, darn, I want to keep playing him. What I want to try not to do is get too cautious with it, because I think that won't be that interesting to watch, me being like super cautious. You know, I do have a habit of pulling, and that won't change, and I'll be doing that even more so, I think, with ranged attacks than I was with, you know, a melee attacker and a little bit of ranged, like, taunt, right? But I have the feeling, so if I were going to bet, and again, I'm not like trying to die, there'd be no point to doing this if I were. I have the feeling what's probably going to kill this character is going to be the Vajralax. Because they do toxic, I won't be able to resist that. They're super accurate, and they always bloody my characters. So I have the feeling that we're going to be fine until we get to, like, into the teens and we're fighting Vajralax, and then we are going to have a problem. And if this were the old game, right, where you didn't have this Michael Habishi quest line, this new annoying quest line that is supposed to be tutorial and really isn't, and you went through the old quests, the science guys almost always sent you after the Vajralax at low level, right? While other people were fighting skulls and hellions, and like Magic was fighting Circle of Thorns and so on, science was fighting Vajralax. Tech was fighting Clockworks. Are you coming with me, or what's the story here? You're fighting me? Oh, okay. I think we're gonna up our resistance a little bit, just in case. Because he is a +1 lieutenant. Ouch. This could be it, guys. Hopefully not. Let's do a little more damage. Let's just go ahead and use these inspirations on him. The big problem is he's slowing me. And I don't have a lot of powers right now, because we're low level. But we got him. Nice. Very nice. So what I was going to say was that the low level game for science characters is against Vajralax, and for tech characters it's against Clockworks. For magic characters it's against Circle. Right, it used to be. This is like back at in the original game, and one of the things that used to drive me nuts with science is having to deal with all the Vajralax at the beginning, and it was always harder to do them than to do the guys who are fighting against Clockworks or something, because Clockworks are a lot weaker than Vajralax, at least against most of the character types that I have played. I do hate missing. I also seriously miss Quintessence Lass's area effect attack, where you can hit multiple guys at once. I also miss her uberness, right? But the reason I'm not playing her this weekend is because it is triple XP weekend, and I don't want to level her up too fast. As I mentioned in the last episode, at the time of this recording, she is 48th level. There are only 2 levels to go anyway, and I really don't want to like blow all the way through 48 and half of 49 in a day or two, right? And then we only have 1 or 2 more missions to do, and she's level 50. That I don't want to do that, right? I'm not trying to. I'm not going to block her experience gain, but I'm not in a rush to try and finish her. And see, my instinct is to try and get these guys in a cone, even though I don't have a cone. At least not yet. And we are 7th level, guys. That's how fast triple XP works. So we need to find the supplies and take out the skulls guarding them. Oh, I forgot to... I haven't even been using the map. Whoops. That's not what I wanted to do. I want to move it here. Shrink. And there we go. He has no chance against us while we're level buffed. We're poking in his territory. Well, we don't care about that. So we'll move up. And I think this sends us through like the sewers. Yeah. You can see how fast we're gaining XP. We're already almost 2 beads into level 7. It only takes 3 or 4 minions at this XP gain rate to gain a level. Oh, come on now. And once again, as I've said in the past, the ambiance in here, the atmospherics are so good. It really does feel like you're in a boiler room or something. And then I think we need to go up, right? And this is supposed to be like a jumping puzzle, but nope, I can get right up here, and we have a white lieutenant, which should be no problem. Well, he's doing dark on me, so that's negative energy. I only have about 11% protection against that. And of course he's going to try debuffing me. But I think we got him. And we head out to Atlas. And I think we've managed to succeed at that mission. So 7 levels down, guys. No deaths yet. Iron Man mode still engaged. So let's call Sandra. Let's actually... Whoops, no, I don't want this thing. I want flight. Let's take this off the board. I don't need it anymore. Let's go up. I like going up like this so nobody can attack me while I'm on the phone. Thank you very much. And oh my gosh, we're almost 8th level, guys. Look at this. We're just inches from 8th level, and we get a new contact, Aaron Theory. First, we're going to... well, let's talk to him. And so he says Arachnos is messing around with our city, so let's go fight them. I'm going to go ahead and just do it since we're here. And then we'll level up. So 15 Hellions. I don't know why we're fighting Hellions. I thought he made me fight Arachnos. Oh, 15 Arachnos. Didn't it just say Hellions? Maybe I misread it. This will level us up, and then we'll gain both levels with Ms. Liberty. These guys are all really low level because with triple XP, we weren't expected to be this high of a level, right? You should be doing this more at like 5th or 6th level. But because we're getting so much more XP per kill, so much more XP per mission, you don't need to still be afraid. I just defeated both those guys. Since we're getting so much more XP for each unit, whether it's a mission, there we go again, or an individual guy, we're a much higher level than the game expected us to be at this stage. So we can just crush these guys. Now, I'm not going to do this normally. I'm not, Scrapper's not going to start fighting gray and green cons just so his character doesn't die. We're not going to do that. We're going to fight our normal mission. We're going to do our normal missions. It's just that these guys are only a certain level range, and we really can't control that. So we just have to, defeat the guys that we're defeating here, get our 7 done, and then we will go get our levels. We had 2. We're going to get more slots, which I think we're going to just put on health and get it over with. And then we will get a new power, which will be an attack power. Since we already have 2 each of defense and attack, I think we're going to go with another attack power if we get a ranged attack. If not, I will get the other secondary power, which is a sort of area effect knockback, where you blow everybody down, which is cool. I don't think it does any damage, but it knocks them down. One more. Let's beat this guy up, and then we're done. And there we go. Yeah, I'll let him stay aggro to me. I don't care. He won't follow me all the way over to Theory. He'll run back. And again, I'm not as careful with aggro on this server because I almost never see anybody. So there really isn't anybody for me to get killed by accidentally dragging aggro onto them. All right, so the next thing is to find out where the Arachnos base is. But before we do that, we are going to level up, guys. So I'm going to pause it here, and I'll bring you back when we're with Ms. Liberty. All right, folks, we're back. So I put 2 enhancement slots on health, so we're done with our pool powers. And I got Hover. So why did I get that instead of an attack? Well, the reason is that the 2 attacks, build up is possible, and that was very attractive to me, but the 2 attacks left are the melee, and I'm skipping those for now. So I decided to just go ahead and get Hover so we can use it in missions. I wanted to get it eventually, so I figured just get it now, and then we can get the Gale, which is the blown knockdown, and that'll be very helpful for AoEs, and then maybe we'll get one of the melees, we'll see. But I just wanted to kind of get that over with. So now we have to defeat 5 Wolf Spider Commanders. And I'm not going to worry about their buddies. You can see, by the way, that Hover is very useful for fighting melee guys. There we go. We can kind of troll them. Next one. Since these guys are so much lower level than I am, I'm just not even going to worry about them, because they can't do anything to me. Where's the next commander? There he is. Okay, so I am going to keep doing this until we've got our last commander, and then I'm going to fly away to de-aggro. Just because it's silly to have them all chasing me, not that I'm afraid of them. They're 4th level. You can see how much higher level I am than the game expects you to be. And then the last Cobra Commander, or what, not Cobra Commander, Wolf Commander is where? Right there. You can see how they're all trying to get to me, right? Okay. So now you have to find 3 hidden explosives, but we're going to head up. And we're going to move away and just sort of loop around this building and let them de-aggro. And when I come back, they shouldn't be aggro to me anymore. And then we can disarm the hidden explosives. Now this may require me to shoot them anyway, because it's hard not to aggro them from the close distance, because there are a lot of spawns near these packages, these hidden explosives. So those things are next, but first we have to click on the packages. They might not aggro to me because they're 4th level. And I'm 8th, so I'm +4 to them. I'm not sure if they aggro at +4. They will at +3, I'm pretty sure. But I think what happens, the way the game mechanically works, is there's a certain aggro radius. And I think the higher level you are, the lower the radius. So like this might aggro this guy if I was 3rd level, because he's +1 to me and he's like, yes, I'm going to kick your butt. But because I'm +4 to him, I'd have to be like near this car, I think, to aggro him. I'm pretty sure that's the way it used to work. Again, you know, sometimes they change these things, and they may have changed the mechanism over the years, but that's my recollection of how it worked. Is that it was much easier to aggro stuff if you were closer to its level or below it. Alright, so let's contact Aaron, and he says, it's a good thing you stopped the bombing. And now he says, let's get rid of these pylons. So now we have to defeat 3 Arachnos pylons. So I'm just going to shoot them. I don't know if I can do this without aggroing these guys, but I actually kind of don't care because they can't do anything to me. Right, they're all 4th level. So this kind of tells you what level the game expects us to be at when we're doing this. Come on. So level 5 pylon, and that's kind of the level they expected me to be. Instead, we're on our way to level 9. You can see these guys aren't even aggroing to me. Even though I'm attacking the thing they're guarding, because I'm +4 to them, and their aggro radius is so much smaller than mine. So much smaller because of my level than it would be if I were like their level. And if you go back and watch like the Quintessence Lass, you will see she was not able to get that close without aggroing them because she was not that high a level. So this is, by the way, one of the ongoing problems, and one of the reasons with a character that I'm planning to like take to 50 and that I want to like have for a long time. Normally, I normally do not do triple or double XP weekend, because this kind of stuff happens where you're like way overpowered for the mission. Now that eventually will fade away once you get to like 15th level, because you just don't level up that fast, but in the first few levels you quickly outlevel the story arcs. So now he said the finale, we're going to go to the Arachnos base because we've got their location. So now we go into an Arachnos base. This should be the right level. On the other hand, it might max out, right? It might max out at 6 or something. But hopefully it'll be level 8 and we'll get an actual challenge. Let's switch to hover. So now I'm going to use hover kind of like combat jump. So we're going to want to put, I don't know if we need an endurance reducer in hover, because you don't in combat jump. We might want to put a flight speed in it. And like as an SO, that would make it a lot faster. Hover is also a lot faster than it used to be. It used to be much slower, according if my memory serves. I might be wrong about that, but I think it used to be much slower. And so the idea here is, like, they can't melee me, so they have to shoot me. And a lot of bad guys have weaker ranged than melee attacks. Sometimes they're equal in strength, but they're rarely stronger. There are a few that have stronger ranged attacks, but most of them, it's either equal, or in a case like these guys, they're way stronger in melee than they are at range. Oh. No, I'm not going to, like, completely stay out of their range all the time. I've got defenses, so I'm not that worried. And we're not going to do a bunch of cheese the AI tactics just so that our character doesn't die because we're an Iron Man, because then it's not really Iron Man. As you can see, we're holding out just fine against them without getting up real high. And if you remember with Nightmare Lass, I didn't generally, you know, like, stay way up by the ceiling. Of course, she had minions to protect her. Do I have any good enhancements? Not really. We're holding our own so far. It's doing pretty well. Of course, I've also been fighting a bunch of weak guys rather than white cons. This is the first time we're really handling white cons in a couple of levels. So far, I'm surprised. I've surprised myself at being reasonably happy with the Guardian. At least these power sets, I've been reasonably happy with. It's not a scrapper, but it's okay. Not bad. Look at that, we're halfway through level 8. The electricity effects are really good in this game. I like them. Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how this character does against the Vajralax if he ends up fighting them. I don't know if he will. So one of the reasons, by the way, I also want to avoid sort of the hover attacks from up above is I feel like it makes the camera angles really awkward, and I don't want you guys to have to watch that and get a headache. Alright. Next level, and there is our target. I don't know if this power set, the secondary, gets a self-heal. I'm not sure if they do. Some of them I think do. Or they'll get an AoE heal you can apply to yourself. Mass Energize, maybe? Yeah. I don't know if that's heal or endurance. We'll see when we get there, if we get there. That's many levels away, and I don't know if we're going to live that long. By the way, for anyone who said set the viz scale to 2, I already did that. It's 2.5. You still can't see anything out past this line. I really wish they had the vision different in these layers. So what is the endurance train on this thing? 0.19 a second. I think that's a little more than combat jump, so we're going to need to put an endurance reducer on it. Talk to Matthew. Matthew, you could have been killed. What? Theory? He was the one who told me you're here. I can't believe he's the mole. Now we gotta go defeat him. I can never see anything on these maps. Alright, so we need to go up the elevator. And find Aaron Theory and kick his butt. Because he's been a bad boy. Why'd you do all of this? You had no right to do all of this. I would have helped regardless. You have a request from me? Well, we're going to arrest him. And then we fight the Arbiter. Should be alright. And we've completed the mission. Let's head out. And we're going to talk to, I guess, Aaron Theory about his traitorousness. And then I think we will stop. Oh, Matthew Habashi. So we got to speak to Matthew first. Because Aaron was the traitor. Wow, we are really close to level 9 already. Normally you go into King's Row at like level 6. We're level 9 and we haven't even gone into King's Row yet. Oh, and I've got hover on. I'm so stupid. Here we go. I was wondering, why am I going so slowly? But hover is way faster than it used to be because in the old days you would not have been able to confuse hover with flight. Not even close. Alright, Matthew and wife. So what should I do? So what are your plans? I'm going to continue to fight crime. And we've leveled up again. And now we meet Shauna Stockwell, who will give us our next set of missions. But first, we go visit Ms. L and get our level 9 slots. One advantage to taking hover early and flight early like this is it gives us a chance to slot other things. We're going to put one in charged armor and put one in charged bolts. And we're all set. Alright guys, I think that looks pretty good. It's been 39 minutes, so I didn't realize it was going to be that long. But we are level 9 on our Iron Man run. No deaths yet, of course, because once there's a death, we're done. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Until next time, I am Scrapperlock, and this is City of Heroes Rebirth Iron Man.